this video, I'll take you through 2 basic figure drawings, broken down into 3 stages each. I'll be showing you how to start a figure drawing with a block-in, where I'll build a line sketch of the figure and check the placement and proportions before moving into shading. The next phase will be basic shading, so you can see the flat outline take shape and dimension. Finally, I'll focus on refining the figure with some additional techniques to give the drawing even more depth and interest. Because, like I said before, because I'm working lightly, it's very easy to erase. And don't be afraid of erasing. Don't feel like you're not a good artist if you don't erase. Now I'm looking at this distance here between this horizontal axis line and the bottom of his arm. So I'm going to raise this up. Now if I drop a vertical plumb line, I can see his toes are lining up right about where his arm meets his side. So I'm going to make sure that's about where it looks like it's going to end. What I may do at this block-in stage is to outline the shaded areas. Not shade them darkly, but just sort of outline those blocks of value. I find that it helps, in a way, getting the block-in done more accurately. Okay, here we've got another pose doing the same thing, putting our vertical and horizontal axis lines for beginners. I think it'll help. And this looks like it's going to be a lot harder than the other one, but it's basically using your relative proportions just like before. You've got this angle here, so you can kind of sort of get like an outer envelope thing going here. I'm just going to lightly sketch in the core line of the figure. The good thing about using your axis lines is I am changing scale. I'm not working on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. This is 11 by 14. But if you have your axis lines and your center point, it makes changing scale so much easier. You just find your axis line and work out from that. You use, or the center point, and then you use your axis lines as reference points all through your drawing. If you drop a plumb line from the end of her knee, it comes just outside these toes here. Looks like I have that about right. First I thought it was a little off, but I think it lines up with that plumb line there. I run imaginary plumb lines vertically and horizontally all through my drawings. It's something I've had to learn to do as a portrait artist in order to get a good likeness. And they're really good tools to use as you're drawing anything, really. This part of his thigh is catching a lot of light, as well as that part. Back of his knee is lighter. This whole calf muscle is very hard and muscular, so I'm going to just shade that whole plane in. And you can just have fun with drawing. You can have your friends or whoever pose for you. You can practice. If you don't feel comfortable showing it to them, don't show it to them. But the main thing is to practice. Practice every chance you get, because that's going to make you better. I'm going to start to put in some white chalk, especially on this area here. This is receiving the most light from the light source. And although this sort of reflected part of her arm is not as light as this, I may just give it a little glow.